of the requirements that a company or organization might have is that users that log on and start using the Microsoft services may need to be approved using what's called a terms of use agreement. Now, there's various reasons why companies are going to use terms of use agreement. Part of that might be an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. Another might involve something like the GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulation. If you're not familiar with that, that's something the European Union has kind of been pushing about, involving personal information, and a lot of companies and organizations are now having to follow that. And so this is going to involve, specifying perhaps that users that use your tenant, we might have to collect some personal information from them, and we have to make them aware of that due to GDPR concerns. So various reasons. It could be some kind of a legal notice, but when somebody signs on to their Microsoft Azure AD account to access whatever resources it is, we need to have a terms of service pop up that requires them to agree to these terms. This is one of those things that a lot of identity governance, let me just kind of warn you guys, this is constantly changing, so be advised what you see on your screen could look a little different than what I'm showing you, but if that is the case, you're welcome to message me. I definitely try to keep my videos updated, but just remember that they are constantly changing things. It's a never-ending battle for me. The most importantly, though, is that you understand the concept here. But again, if there is any differences, you're welcome to message me. So here we go. We're in portal.azure.com. We're going to click on the menu button. We're going to go to Azure Active Directory. And then we're going to click on Identity Governance. From there, you will see a blade towards the bottom called Terms of Use. So we're going to click on Terms of Use, and this is where you're going to click on, you're going to create your Terms of Use agreement that would show up on the person's screen when they go to log on. We're going to click New Terms here, and the options that are available are pretty straightforward. So it gives you a name. So perhaps this is going to involve my new marketing project that I'm going to be using, and so I'm just going to call this Marketing Promo Terms of Use, TOU, okay? And that's going to be the name I'm going to give it, and I'm going to use that for the display name as well, all right? And then from there, what document? So if you've had maybe a PDF file or something that has been drafted by a legal team, you could go and put that PDF in there. So I'm just going to go right here and click on Legal Notice. All right, and the legal notice has now been uploaded, and I can specify a language. So I'm just going to go with English. If you did have different versions like other languages, you could add other languages right here for different versions of the legal notice if you wanted to. From there, I can click Require Users to expand. So that way they can't just agree, they have to expand it. Require users to consent on every device they log on to. I could do that if I wanted to. Or I could just say, you know what, once the user agrees to it once, they're good. You can also have the consents expire after a certain amount of time. You can set the frequency, the expiration, starting date, and the frequency, and the duration, and all that right here. Annually, biannually, quarterly, monthly. Or if you just want to do a flat duration before reacceptance is required, meaning they'd have to reaccept after a certain amount of days. Let's say every 360 days we're going to require reaccept. From there, just so you guys know, the terms of use is actually going to be applied through a conditional access policy. So this little policy is going to get enabled and be applied to your user. And so you have enforce with conditional access, and you can say you're going to use a custom policy that it's going to create, or you're going to create a conditional access policy later for this. Okay, so I'm going to go with create a conditional access policy later. I'm going to click to create, and at that point I've now officially added my terms of use, although it hadn't been applied to anybody yet. So if I wanted to apply that, I can go over here to the menu button, go to Azure Active Directory. I'm going to go to the security blade, and we're going to click on conditional access. From there, we're going to create a new policy, and we're going to call this apply TOU for marketing promo. All right, and then from there, I'm going to select the user groups I want this to apply to. Maybe this is going to be applying to everybody that's in marketing. So we'll go down and we'll choose the marketing group. We'll click select. And then I'm going to go down here to where it says grant. I'm going to say grant access. Notice the marketing promo TOU appears. So that terms of use that we just created now appears. So I'm going to require them to go through that terms of use. I'm going to click select. I'm going to click on, and then I'm going to click create. And at that point, I've now applied this through a conditional access policy. Let me kind of warn you, when you do this in the real world, this can take over an hour before it actually starts working. So don't be too impatient with this, because it definitely takes time before the terms of use will start working. So if you're trying to log on as a user and see it, you're going to have to wait. It's not, I've even seen it can take longer than an hour. So you do kind of have to be patient when you're trying to play around with the terms of use feature, because it's not super duper fast. All right. From there, if you come back over to terms of use, you can see how many people have accepted or if anybody has declined. All right. You can also view the audit log for that as well and see audit information for that. Okay. So pretty neat, pretty easy to use. I hope you'll find deploying terms of use agreements within Azure AD and Microsoft 365 is actually not too difficult. This is John Christopher. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I want you to know that I'm trying really hard to grow this channel, so I hope you'll give me a like and a subscribe. Also, if you'll check the description in this video, I've got a link for you that can show you how you can get access to all my different courses. I have lots of different Microsoft certification courses that'll help you pass your exam. All right, thanks a lot for watching the video, and I hope to see you again.